All right, everyone. Hello, Ray O'Daniel here on another beautiful Wednesday morning. And I'm here to talk about a topic that I often get asked about quite a bit from my affiliates, people that sign up underneath me, and that's just because they don't really understand the SaaS Configurator. I mean, it is a powerful tool, and it's something I really want to be able to go over. I do enjoy it. The SaaS Configurator has been around for a couple of years now, and it has really, really improved on some of the features and things like that you can do. But before we hop into there, just more of a personal note, I'm just kind of letting some of the channel members here get logged in, and hopefully we'll get a few people logged in here. But one of the things is this is going to be my last live broadcast from Cancun, at least for right now. Next week, I'm actually going to be traveling to the Dominican Republic, so I'll be there for that month of April, and I'll do a couple of lives there. That'll be very interesting. That particular place I've got is a condo, so I might actually try to do some lives on the patio with the beach and stuff in the background. I don't know, maybe. I don't want everybody to hate me with wishing they were there too. But anyway, it'll be there. It's interesting, but yeah, picking up everything, taking your whole mobile setup, all your video equipment, everything else, packing it up, and move into a different location is kind of challenging. So that's going to be something I do here in a few days. But anyway, that's just me. So that's what I'm doing here recently, just traveling from place to place. After the Dominican Republic, I'm going to probably end up coming back to Mexico and going someplace cool and fun and just trying to do different things in different places. So anyway, guys, right now, let's hop into the SaaS Configurator. Now, first of all, one of the things that I want to talk about when it comes to the SaaS Configurator is the SaaS Configurator is to me, it's like the only reason why you would want to spend a couple $100 more per month to upgrade from unlimited to get this SaaS Configurator tool. So there's a lot of documentation out on Highlevel for the SaaS Configurator. Unfortunately, I'm going to go over some of the areas that they don't have documentation on that I've had to find out sort of on my own. So stay tuned for that. But it's just the SaaS Configurator has so much information, but people just don't really understand, what it is. And just in simplistic terms, the SaaS Configurator is your way to automatically create sub-accounts and user accounts within your system without you having to do any work. It's completely automated. That is what you're paying for when you buy the SaaS Configurator, is the automation piece. Now, that doesn't exist in any other place. It doesn't exist in Unlimited, and it doesn't exist in the Starter Plan. So you do get, again, Starter Plan, you get 3 sub-accounts. Typically, 1 you get for your own business. The other 2 you actually get to have clients. But again, if you're just starting out here and you don't have existing clients, I always recommend people start out with the Starter Plan, if money is an issue, because it's the cheapest plan. It allows you to kind of get started, and you do get 30 days if you sign up with my link in the video description. You do get 30 days to get things going. But again, don't sign up right away. Take my free course, get some training on what Highlevel does first, what kind of things you'd like to sell within Highlevel, then sign up for the trial. That way you don't have to spend your trial period learning Highlevel, because you can learn Highlevel before you actually get a subscription. So anyway, that's just my little tidbit on that one. I always try to help people out. It's incredible how many people hop in and they kind of burn that 30-day or 14-day trial period, and then they have to stop and start another trial period and all this other stuff. But anyway, the starter plan only has 3. Unlimited plan, you do get unlimited accounts, but there's a lot of manual things that you have to do. So right now, you can still have a funnel. You can still sell your products or services. But unfortunately, when you sell a product or service, it still requires you to do onboarding. So just want to check in with some of my channel members here. Okay, got a couple people logged in. But right now, the unlimited plan is good because it does allow you to sit back and have unlimited accounts. And the unlimited plan is, I do recommend the unlimited plan for some instances, and I'm going to cover that. But for the most part, if you are starting an agency, a true agency where you are charging your clients, then you need to get off the unlimited plan or move from the unlimited plan over to the Agency Pro plan. just finish watching this video, and hopefully I will guarantee that you would want to get upgraded. By the way, if you do want to upgrade, you can be an affiliate of mine if you're already at a lower level and you upgrade to Agency Pro. Check out the video description. I've got an upgrade link where you can become an affiliate of mine and get all my training bonuses and access to me and stuff like that if you upgrade to the Agency Pro. But let me talk about the Agency Unlimited plan. You do get unlimited accounts. Now, you do get the ability, Highlevel has included the ability to allow you to have your client put in a credit card for billing, because earlier in the life cycle of the unlimited plan, billing was manual. That was one of the things I really hated about the unlimited plan, is that you had to manually bill the client and have them pay you. Well, now Highlevel has of course changed that. So now there's a billing area inside of the sub account where they can go put their credit card, and then you could charge them for the plan that you have, whatever plan or product that you've got created, and you could charge them for any usage. Now, the problem with the charging them for usage is this: you don't get the benefit of what is called rebilling. And I'm going to get into rebilling when we talk about the SaaS Configurator, but the rebilling is basically allows you to mark up the services that Highlevel charges you for things like email, text, phone, voice, AI, all those type of things. You don't necessarily have to charge people the cost of that. You could charge them twice the cost, 3 times the cost. Okay, it's still a good price for them, but you can charge them more and then make more money right from the very beginning. So hopefully that makes sense. But in the unlimited plan, you can bill them for your plan and you can bill them for your usage that's it. And that's fine, because as long as you can bill them for that. But the problem is what happens when you have the unlimited plan and you have like a credit card failure? Maybe they go over their limit. Maybe it's an older credit card and the date expired. Things like that. Well, you have to kind of go in and look at that. Highlevel does notify you, but it doesn't stop them from being able to get logged in and continue to do business, charging things, because there's just no safety precautions. Where in the Agency Pro, you can pause their account automatically whenever an event like that happens. So for the unlimited plan, again, why would people want to stick with the unlimited plan? I'm going to give you just one specific example of just people I've been working with here recently. And actually, the good example of this would be insurance agents, believe it or not. So if you're an insurance agency and you want to use Highlevel to give each one of your insurance agents their own sort of business in a box, like for instance, give them their own sub account, they can have their own phone number, their own AI, basically their own business inside of your Highlevel agency, you don't necessarily have to put them on a SaaS plan. You see what I mean? They're making money for you. You just want to provide a business, or sort of a business software playground for them to do their business in, to have leads, to generate leads and to process leads and do all that other kind of stuff. Well, for that kind of case, you might charge your agents a little bit of money, just to kind of cover your cost, or you may not. But that's a prime example of not wanting to actually, like, your agents in this case are not clients. You're not looking to charge them a monthly subscription. You just want to be able to give them an area to work in inside of a sub account. So in a sense, you really don't care about the SaaS plan. You're not rebilling it. You don't have to worry about the money or the billing part. You just want to have unlimited number of accounts, because anything more than, again, the starter plan only has 3 sub accounts. So if you have more than 2 people, you have to get the unlimited plan to get each one of them to have their own sub account. So that's kind of the reason why people go to the $297 plan. But again, they're not really an agency. They're just using Highlevel and giving that to their insurance agents. And you could probably do the same thing if you're a mortgage broker. If you own a mortgage brokerage and you've got brokers working for you, you might want to give each one of them their own little sandbox, if that makes sense, like a sub account for them to do their business in. That just makes sense. So right now, the unlimited account does have a purpose. But if you're an agency and you're looking to charge people a monthly subscription plan for your services, then unlimited is not going to be the plan for you. That's not what I would suggest. Start, if you're going to do this, go directly up. I would go just directly to the Agency Pro plan, because when you get to the Agency Pro plan, there is some different configuration that you need to stop and rethink about how you're going to restructure your business to include these new automation features. And even, again, you're going to have to redefine some of your, particularly some of your plans or your contracts, if that makes sense, with your clients. Now, right now, I'm not sure exactly if, when you move forward, how you actually present that, but meaning when you get a client, you're going to have to pay for usage. So how much do you tell them this usage is? I don't know. That's going to be different for you. But right now, typically, if you are doing with a typical agency, they're going to have you sign some form of a contract that says, we're going to come into contract. I'm going to provide these services for you. And as a result, these services are going to have a base subscription charge of $297 a month, whatever you're going to charge them. And you're going to have additional usage fees of the following. And you kind of have your usage fee layout, inside of your agreement. Your agreement should be pretty clear. All text messages are this much. All emails are this much. And again, when I say text messages, what I really meant to say, to be clear on terminology, text message segments. Because Highlevel bills you on segments, not on text messages. It's how many segments of that message actually get sent. That's what they bill you on. So a text message could be, any number of segments. I don't really know. Depends on how much you're sending. So hopefully that makes sense. So right now, those are the things that you need to be able to put in your agreement, or at least have agreed upon what the price of those are. And again, the price of those, again, when we look at the Agency Pro, is going to depend upon what rebilling factor you have them at. So again, I'm going to get into that, but just keep in mind, whenever you move from starter or even the unlimited plan and you move up to the Agency Pro, you're going to have to convert the account from, and again, Highlevel has been changing their user interface a lot on this. So again, they were called regular accounts before. Now they don't have an account. You're either a SaaS account or a not SaaS account. So in this kind of case, I'll just say, when you upgrade from 97 or 297 to the Agency Pro, all of your accounts come in as a non-SaaS account. Now, to get those accounts on the SaaS plan, you have to convert them. You have to go into the sub-account and then convert them into their existing plan into a SaaS plan. And that's really easier than you think to do, but the prices of those may change and the billing may change. So you need to make sure that when you do this, that your client knows their new billing fees. That way it's just not a surprise. Now, one of the great things about the SaaS Configurator is it puts all of the automation in one place. So you can have, imagine if you have a funnel that you could send people to, or even your website. It doesn't really matter. When I say funnel, website, I kind of mean the same thing. Hopefully you understand that. So you can have a sales page where they're like, okay, here are my different plans. And you can have, whatever plan you want. I'm just using like standard, professional, and premium. Those are the plans that Highlevel typically comes up with default. They give you some default plans to start with. So let's just say you're dealing with the standard plan, and the standard plan is $147. Somebody can read all of the things that you're offering in your standard plan and say, okay, I want to sign up for this one. Click the button that says sign me up. They go and turn to the next page, which is going to be a page specifically for an order form that has your standard product on it from your billing provider. It could be Stripe, could be Authorize.net, or could be NMI. Any one of those are valid now, by the way. You don't necessarily need Stripe just to run the SaaS Configurator like you did before. Other payment processors, including PayPal, are now available. We'll get into that in a minute. So following the website, somebody's going to click on the product on your site, buy that particular plan. They're going to go to the next page which says, okay, here's all the products you get on here. Here's an order form, 1 step, 2 step. That's up to you, however you want to do that. But it's going to have, hey, this is a monthly or a yearly plan. Of course, you want to offer both of those because the SaaS Configurator automatically creates 2 plans with every plan that it creates. It creates a monthly and a yearly. Now, you can give a discount on a yearly if you want to. That's going to be completely up to you. You don't have to, okay? Now, when they do that, they're going to pick, let's just say monthly. They're going to pick monthly. They're going to fill in all their information, put their credit card, buy the monthly, click next, finish. And whenever that sale goes through, Highlevel knows that the product that they just purchased was a SaaS Configurator product. Because they know it's a SaaS Configurator product, the SaaS Configurator is going to automatically create a new sub-account with the information that they put in and create a user account for that person and email that username and password to the person that gets that created the account, that purchased it. Now, this is the automation that is lacking in the unlimited and the starter plan. So when you say, I don't know how many orders you get or when you get them, but somebody could literally sign up on a Friday night at 10 o'clock at night. And let me just look at the chats here. Okay. Friday night at 10 o'clock at night. Now, typically, if you're on a starter or unlimited plan, you might get like an email or something in your inbox that says, hey, we got a new order for a new sub account. I need to go in and create the account, onboard it, and send the user information over to the person so they can get logged in. You don't need to do that with Agency Pro. If they create an account at 10 o'clock, it might take, and give me 5-10 minutes, at most. But the SaaS Configurator will create the sub account, maybe. It depends upon, there are some security things that you can put in place first, and I'll get into that when we talk about the SaaS Configurator. But let's just assume the account gets created automatically, the email gets sent out, so that person can now log directly in to their account Friday night at like 10:10 at night and start building out their business, and you, the agency owner, just got paid for a monthly subscription that you didn't have to create the account for and things like that. So that automation is what the SaaS, is what the Agency Pro can bring you. And how, again, with the Agency Pro, you get the SaaS Configurator, and you also get that automation, and you get the rebilling. Those are two features that are powerful, okay? They're powerful because that's just, you can set everything up on autopilot and follow up with the people later. But you can doing business right away. Now, I know I've been talking about this, but by all means, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hop in and pop in. Again, I'm sorry, Q&As are only available for membership. So if you're interested, join my membership. It's not that much, and it's well worth it. So right now, let me hop in here and let's kind of get over the SaaS Configurator. Now, the SaaS Configurator, they keep kind of changing where things are, but I'm going to go over things as a whole, and I'm going to try to remember here. Sometimes I get lost in my own thoughts, but just try to remember at the end of the SaaS Configurator demo to go back into the sub accounts to show you how you would change one account to another. I'm not going to do it here live. I'm just going to show you where to do it and how to do it. And then that's going to be up to you. If you're migrating and upgrading from a lower plan to the Agency Pro, your business will still run, but you don't get necessarily the automation piece. But keep in mind, any of the new products that you sell inside of the SaaS Configurator will be a SaaS plan and will be configured as such. So now, something else that you need to understand. If you're coming from a starter plan or unlimited plan, when you create a product, those products are created by you inside of, I'm just going to use Stripe. Whatever your payment processor is, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to refer to Stripe. And that could be whatever payment processor you use. But the product is going to be created in that system, okay? And you're going to be doing that by just simply going to the sub account, go to products, and create the product and so forth, and that's how you would do it. When you have the SaaS Configurator, the SaaS Configurator will create new products inside of Stripe for you, okay? And one of the things that Highlevel always recommends, never ever go directly into Stripe to modify a SaaS Configurator plan. Don't care about the other products that you created before that, but any product that's the SaaS Configurator generates, you don't ever want to touch it, change it, misconfigure it inside of Stripe, because everything needs to flow through the SaaS Configurator and otherwise things get out of sync and it can cause a problem. And you might end up having to delete the plan and recreate it. It becomes a nightmare, so just don't do that. Now, typically, whenever you create your plans inside of the SaaS Configurator plan, they will always be, typically at the end of the product, they'll have a parentheses and it'll say Agency Plan, parentheses. So you kind of know that when you see that Agency Plan, it'll have the name of the product, the Stripe ID, and then Agency Plan at the end of it. That kind of lets you know that is a SaaS Configurator plan. So just checking to make sure we don't have any questions. Good. Okay, so now what I want to do here is I'm going to go over the sort of visual interface first, and then I'm going to hop into some of the plans. Hey Cassidy, welcome. So right now, the plans and pricing are just this. This is where you configure any of the plans that you want. Now, this might have changed, but the last time I looked at it here, you're allowed to have up to 20 plans. Now, keep in mind, for the people that were kind of old schools that saw when the SaaS Configurator came on, you only had 3 plans to work with. That was it. You could only create 3 plans, and you had to focus on those 3 plans. And some of the things that I didn't like here, when we go over, I'm not going to edit the details of this and show you this quite yet. I'm going to go over just the interface that we're seeing first and then dive into the plan. But I didn't like the original SaaS Configurator because some of the features had a lock on it. And that meant that some features you could not remove. Even from the low level essential or standard plan or whatever you want to call it, you couldn't remove that feature. You had to have it in your plan. That was very frustrating. And actually, I'm not sure when Highlevel got rid of that. It's actually been a while. But they removed all those locks. Now you can choose any feature for any particular plan, which is great. It gives you a lot more freedom in here. So let me just check. So right now, the plans and pricing are just where you have you create all your plans. Inside of your advanced settings, here are some of the things. I'm going to try to blow this up a little bit here. These are one of the more security things I was talking about earlier, about like whenever somebody creates your account for you. A lot of times I have this turned on because I've been experiencing a lot of, it's actually going to be the case when we get into security. I'll just wait till we get there to talk about the security part. But when you talk about the subscription, suspend sub-accounts when SaaS subscription fails. Remember I said earlier in the unlimited plan, you can have the ability for the client to put in their own credit card and have them automatically bill it so that billing is done. But again, if that billing fails, then you might get notified, but again, it doesn't stop their account and stuff like that. So here, you can actually suspend the sub-account, meaning nobody can get logged in if the credit card fails. So that's a nice feature. And it pops up a little message. I can't display it on this one here. I'm not going to go through that in this demo. But it pops up a message that says, your account has been paused due to billing failure. Please contact immediately, blah, 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 to resolve the issue. And then nobody can log in to do business until they get the credit card issue resolved. So that's really nice. Now, here's some of the other things that you might want to do. You might want to have, again, we talked about standard, professional, and premium. That's kind of the level where premium is the best plan that you have. Those are the 3, again, that Highlevel will give you by default. But for right now, let's just say they're on the standard plan and you want to give your client the ability to say, I want to go from standard to premium. Well, you don't have to. You can turn this feature off, but you can just say, allow sub-account admins to upgrade their subscription. So what this means is when you have that checked, they can go into their sub-account, into billing, and then from billing, go in and select, upgrade, choose a different plan, and select a plan, and now they're starting to be charged for the new plan, and they can do all of that themselves. Now, keep this in mind. They can also, in a sense, when you give them that, they can also, I believe, downgrade from premium back down to another one, but you're giving the client the ability to move their subscription up and down at will. And I'm just thinking, I'm not even sure why you would care if people did that or not. Why wouldn't you give them, the ability to do that? I don't really know. Hey, Sonia, good to see you. Right now, we've got this button here, is add new plan features upon upgrading. Just make sure you check that. So when they go from standard to premium, all the features that you're going to allow in premium that you don't allow in standard, all of those features are going to be unlocked and turned on for them. So that's definitely something that you want to do so you don't have to go in and change all that stuff later. And again, allow sub-account admins to cancel their subscription. Again, why not allow them to cancel your subscription? But keep in mind, if they've already paid, they're paying for a monthly subscription. So when they cancel, that subscription is going to cancel on the next monthly billing cycle. They've already kind of paid for this month. But again, when they do that, Highlevel notifies you, and you now have the ability to sit back and call them. Hey, I just noticed that you canceled your account. Well, what's going on? Why can't? Anyway, what's going on? So anyway, that's that. Customize your email. So when somebody signs up for the SaaS Configurator, you can sit back and customize a particular email. This email template, keep in mind, does get stored in a sub account. So again, it opens up the little email marketing wizard. You could view the email here. Let me see what this looks like here. So this is mine, account created, first name, last name, user password, regards, click here to log in. So something just very simple, very easy. Come on. I need to scale back out here. Come on. Don't know why I got stuck on that, but anyway. One of the other things I want to set back, so you can have a nice customized welcome email that goes out to your people whenever they get an account created, and you can customize that just using the email template wizard that we've already seen. So I'm going to get to questions here in just a minute. Let me get to this screen. But categories are one of the things that are really kind of confusing to me when they came out, because I was trying to play with them and I was trying to call support about some things. They still don't even have these things documented about what they are, but I really kind of found out the primary reason why you would want to have a new category inside of your SaaS plan. And that is because if you take a look here, really it has to deal with currency. So if you're going to be dealing with SaaS plans that are only, United States dollar based, then you don't need to worry about a category. Just use the default category and that's that. Okay? Because the default category here, I'm going to try to blow this up. The default category is currency is US dollar. Now, let's just say that you also want to do US, but you also want to do the UK. Or I would just say the UK. Somebody else in the European nation. Just sorry about that. But just if you want to have a plan that accepts a different currency, then what you would have to do is you'd have to create a new category to store that plan in. And inside of that new category, you can now choose the currency of the plans that are accepted within that category. So that's really the biggest benefit to categories for me. So again, if you want to have, I created one of these things for demo. I don't actually sell to the European plan, but you can have this Euro plan. And then what happens is when you come back here to take a look at these pricing plans, notice this right here, the standard Euro plan. Now the price is in euros, where this is in dollars. So you can have another website that sells a product based upon the euro dollars, over there, but it's still using your same agency. Does that make sense? So you can have I'm just giving an example, standard, professional, and premium US dollar plan, and then you can also have a standard, professional, and premium euro or whatever currency that you want that's supported with Highlevel. So that's just kind of where categories are. Now, I'm going to pause here for a second before we get into security and see if we can answer some questions here. I got into GHL because of you. Hey, awesome, Cassidy. I have 4 clients now, and they're my own team, but I want to start advertising publicly. How? I'm wondering, do I handle my own support customer service? Okay. Well, I can try to get those questions answered, but typically, hopefully your business model, whenever you onboard, doesn't require much ongoing support. But if you do need support, if you do need other things, you can buy extended support from companies like Extendly, or even there's HL Pro Tools. Those are 2 of the biggest vendors that are out there. And by the way, again, I'm just throwing this out there for my support. If you want to use something like Extendly, I do have an affiliate link from them down below as well. Just check them out. I do have other videos on my YouTube channel, specifically with Extendly, going over their services, how it works, and what they charge you, and so forth. But initially, if you're creating an agency and you're looking to build support, I would really deal with the support for at least yourself for a couple of the clients so you can understand your process, because sometimes the support that you get reflects the lack of onboarding that you need to do in the future. So again, because you have support problems, oh right, we forgot to do this during our onboarding, and that's why people keep having that support question. So do your own support, for at least like maybe the first half dozen or so clients or more. But then once you get that, you should work out all the onboarding process. And once you do that, then you could train somebody else like Extendly if the onboarding becomes a problem. But right now, just simply creating, if you wanted to, simply creating a form, like a help desk form inside of your sub account, and allow them to, hey, if you ever have a problem with the link, go here and submit this form and submit it, and then you can have the form action, a workflow kickoff to notify your team members when somebody submits a support request, and then just kind of see what those support requests are. because those support requests really become objections or common problems that you're going to face in your agency, that once you overcome those, the support questions go down. So Sonia, thanks Ray, late to the party, but I'll watch your replay. Problem with the sub-account agency, we're on a different Stripe account. There you go. Well, I hope you got all that stuff figured out. That's good to know. If the client's account gets suspended due to failed payment, does that mean that the client's customers can't access the content from that sub-account? That's a great question. So if you, let me just do that, Sonia. I'm gonna address that when I get to the security section here, which is gonna be next. But just go Cassie. Okay, perfect. That's really good to know. How to help people with their initial 10 DLC, their A2P registration. Yeah, people have been struggling with A2P registration. I did just do a recent video on that. Please watch that. That just has the if you follow those guidelines, you should be pretty good to go. Majorly, people have a problem with regards to your website. When you put a website in there or you have a website, the website needs to have the same kind of opt-in information formed, even like a contact form, and the contact form has to have an opt-in button on it, and that's Highlevel does that automatically. But also your website needs to have privacy policy in terms of conditions. It doesn't have to have it publicly on the menu, but typically you put it in the footer bar. Have a couple of links to terms of conditions and privacy policy. Even if they're just generic, that's fine. But you need to have those pages on your site in order for A2P really to go through, from what I've seen. But watch the video. That does get to be a pain, and there is I would say probably anywhere from a 1 week to 2 week delay in getting that done for your clients. So moving on here to security here. This is one of the cool things that I've turned on to actually prevent fraud on my account. What I've seen a lot of times is when you have your funnel up and people know about your funnel, sometimes people, specifically this happens always overseas for me, people will steal a credit card or want to test a credit card to make sure that it's still valid. And they'll go through and run your process and buy one of your plans, even though it's a stolen credit card. And there's just some red flags right off the bat when people buy from you. Now, if you do have a funnel and you do actively market, you've got webinars going, you've got all these things that people can watch, social media, you could have stuff on YouTube that you publish that says, hey, if this interests you, go to this funnel, sign up, and then this will be automated. Perfect. Okay, but if you're just getting started and you start getting a lot of people just signing up without even like setting up a discovery call with you or something like that to find out about your services, that's a little bit kind of like, not quite sure you want to do that. So this is something that you can turn on if you want. But the problem with this is that if you don't turn this stuff on and you start getting a lot of people buying your stuff, specifically with like fraudulent credit cards, then you're going to get a lot of, I can't think of the term for what it is, but refunds, or the term's not coming to me, sorry. But whenever you have to refund payment back from Stripe from a stolen credit card, they'll go through their stuff, said it's fraud, and then the fraud department contacts Stripe. Stripe then in turn says, we're giving them their money back, so I'm going to deduct your account, ding, and pull money out of your account. So just be careful about that, because that can really affect you if you've already, if you move your money around and now you start having a negative account, not good. So anyway, pause new sub-accounts. This is a great new feature here, and if you just read this, pause new sub-accounts on hold until review and approved by the agency admin. So whenever somebody, if they were to go through your funnel, if they were to buy this, again, using my example earlier, Friday at 10 o'clock at night, they would not be able to access their account until somebody comes in here. All the requests for these new accounts will be here, and then you have to come in and select them, review the accounts and make sure they're valid, make sure, right, this account's coming from, from Steve. I talked to Steve 2 days ago. He finally went in and bought it. Okay, great, perfect. Click on this, I'm gonna click approve. Once you click approve, then the process moves forward. The account gets created, and then they're able to access it and get logged in. So that's that. And this is a cool thing that they've just created too, to verify the phone number. So when somebody has a phone number inside of, they get their account created, they'll get the 2-form factor authentication on their phone number to verify that it's who they say they are. Again, these are just things to help prevent fraud on your account. But again, they do slow things down. So it doesn't slow down the automation, by the way. It doesn't do that. So right now, when you do have your accounts in here, and the accounts are already created. As soon as you click approve, everything just continues to move forward. It just kind of pauses it to let you take a look at it here, and you can then decline that review. And when you decline it, of course, then you have to go through and clean up the sub account, clean up the user, and do some cleanup, and go into Stripe and or whatever your payment processor is, refund that billing cycle, so they don't send you the money and you have to send it back later, and it's kind of a pain. But let me take a look here. Okay, awesome. Oh, chargebacks, right? Thanks, Sonia. That was what I was trying to think of. That's kind of what they call it. It's just a chargeback, and it just prevents that, because that could really suck when you start getting a lot of chargebacks and things like that, especially when Stripe's already transferred your money over and stuff like that. And yeah, disputes, same thing, Cassidy. Disputes, chargebacks, those are the thing. But actually, chargeback was the word I was looking for, by the way. So thanks so much on that. So right now, when you come in here and you look at configure, this screen is really where it comes in. If you want to do, it says SaaS mode now works with Stripe, NMI, Authorized.net, and Square. So this is where you would come and set up your, set up any kind of a different payment processor if you want to. And I'm not going to go over that. I'm going to hop back in over here to plans and pricing, so we can focus on now diving into the actual plan, where we can talk about the features and some of the things that you can do inside of here. So when you create these things, again, you can, Highlevel typically creates 3 plans for you. When you upgrade to Agency Pro, you can take those plans, rename them, you can delete them, you can kind of do whatever you want to. But again, just keep in mind about the categories. So that's a good thing. And one of the things I did not mention about the category is, once you assign a plan to a category, there is no changing that plan. There's no changing the category. So the only way to change a category from one to the other is to literally delete a plan and recreate it. So that could suck, because when you delete a plan, guess what happens to everybody that's on that plan? Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We don't want to go into there. Just be careful. This is why when you're going from the starter plan or the unlimited plan to the SaaS Configurator Agency Pro, it requires a little bit more of a mindset. You have to think about what you want to offer, as your base plans, and then sit back and just make sure you put people on the right plan. That's all. Build a plan out, make sure a plan is solid, and then migrate people over to that plan. Again, it's not as hard as you think. It does take some work to do that, but anyway, let's kind of move on here. So right now, if you wanted to, just simply click on Add a Plan. This comes up with, I'm not gonna create a plan here, but if we take a look, I just want to show you some of the categories. Plan details, the category. Again, you get to select the category when you're creating it. I'm not going to sit back and select it. You don't get that option once it's created. But the plan details, meaning how much you want to charge monthly or yearly, those are the things that pop up. Some of the things as far as what kind of, well, I'll go over all those options, but features and snapshots that you can add, add-ons, trials and credits, and then rebilling. So those are the main areas that you get in here. And what I want to do is, I'm just going to open up an existing plan, and we're going to go through all of those particular features here. Now, I did, one of my lives was over snapshots like a week or 2 ago or something like that. So snapshots are a very powerful way of pre-configuring accounts. Highlevel gives you the ability to attach a snapshot to a particular plan. So again, it not only does it automatically create that account, it automatically creates the account with that snapshot. Okay, so again, that automation is awesome. You don't get that in the other accounts. So this is why you pay the additional $200 for, which again, to me, it's crazy. One of the things that I do want to at least give you, I'm not going to go over in this video, is I created something called the Rebilling Calculator. And really, I did it for me. And the Rebilling Calculator is I tell you what, I'm going to go over a little bit more of that when we get to rebilling. That's going to be toward the end. But I do have, if you want, check that out, make a note of it. I do have a Rebilling Calculator video on my channel, and I'm going to cover that. If that interests you, watch that video. You could be leaving thousands of dollars per month on the table by not implementing that, and we'll get to that. So here for the plan details, just give the plan a name. You can call the plan whatever you want here, okay? So once you save this, give it a description. Next, you're off to pricing. Here's where you're going to get the monthly and the annual. So again, monthly, put in your price. Annual, again, I think I give a 1 month discount. So you just take the monthly plan, multiply it by 11, stick the number in there. Notice that you've got, I'm on Stripe myself, just to let you guys know. So here is my ID for that. the Stripe ID for that particular package inside of Stripe. Now here's where you can do some interesting things here. You can actually create a user limit. Now, Highlevel, as you know, is pretty much unlimited everything. I mean, you don't pay for any users, you don't pay for contacts, you don't pay for funnels, you don't pay for storage and media, videos. I mean, they really made it good, because one of the things I really hated when I was using other systems is all the damn limitations of it is. And it's just like, I hated the fact that I was only limited to, some of the things. And I think this is, I'm a converted ClickFunnels person myself. And I think that the plan I was on and was just like, it was just frustrating, because it's like, you can only have one domain, in the account. And it's just like, okay, well, that's limiting. Oh, but if you want 3 domains, now you have to upgrade and pay $100 more. Come on, man. Don't nickel and dime me with this crap. Just charge it like Highlevel does. Create a plan and just, open it up to me. Give me unlimited view. So that's just me. But here, again, you can put a user limit. These are often nice if you want to, in a sense, again, force people to go to a higher one. So you can have a user limit. Again, this one right here on this particular essential plan, they can have up to 3 users, which for the most part, that's fine. That's probably going to be more than what people need. But if you wanted to, you can switch that off and not have any limit to the number of users. But again, that's just a way to get people to upgrade from like the cheap plan, because a lot of times if you're dealing with clients, they just want the cheap plan. But then if they want to have, if they want to keep their account and then, add their office admin or the receptionist into it, this plan is only for 1 user. If you want 2 users, you have to upgrade to the next plan. So that could be a way that you use to upgrade things. That's up to you. But you can put a user limit as well as a contact limit, which I never really understood why you would want to do a contact limit on that one. But you can if you want to. But that's what's available on this screen. Let me pause for a second, see if we have any questions. Just, Cassidy, just, helpful ways of, how do you advertise your software? That's a little bit outside the scope here on this one, Cassidy, sorry. But I mean, right now it's just, there's lots of different ways of doing that. I just don't want to distract everybody from the SaaS Configurator right now. Your rebilling video and spreadsheet template is what sold me in getting the agency membership. Awesome, cool, thanks. But I'll go over that here in just a little bit and show you what that just tell you what that is. But here again on the pricing features, you just get these options, features. This is where Highlevel has made it really nice. You can sit back and add a snapshot, click on this. It just pulls up a list of all of your available snapshots. Again, these are the ones that are yours. These are the ones that you've imported. So, if you've imported one and you want to use that, or even, the marketplace. So if you went to the marketplace and bought a snapshot, they would show up here as well. So again, here's the ones that you'll have. You could pick from, load it, and then now that snapshot is attached to this plan every time you do that. So again, for your plan here, all you want to do is select this. Now, I really don't understand this right here. This is one of those things where, I think Google turned off messaging. They stopped the messaging feature, but Highlevel still has that in here. So I'm not sure if that's anyway. I just don't have it turned on because that feature got discontinued, I think, with Google. But here, if you want to turn a feature on, you just simply click on it. Like I can click on this and notice that it gets unselected. I can click on it again and select it. So just go through all the features that you get right here. Click, 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 and select any one that you want. And then these are the features that automatically get set up in the security configuration for that user whenever they buy your plan. So that's that. Again, pretty straightforward. Add-ons. Here is where some things get interesting. Over the Black Friday, November timeframe to December, Highlevel was really, really pushing, and still is, pushing their AI employee feature. AI employee is a new grouping of AI tools that Highlevel has that they decided to come out with and group this up back in October when they had their summit in Dallas. So they come up with this, and this was launched, and then the user interface changed, and everybody was interested in AI employee. And then throughout the month of November and December, through Black Friday and Cyber Monday and New Year's specials, Highlevel was really pushing all these things that you could buy an unlimited AI employee for $97 a month. So that's how much they charge you for it, but you can charge your customer whatever you want for it. And again, when you're dealing with this, there's 2 ways of actually selling the AI employee. You can include it as part of your SaaS plan, which would be here. Now keep in mind, if you include that, like if I were to select this, click on this and say yes, as far as this plan, they get an unlimited AI employee. Whenever I do that, you have to understand, as the agency owner, Highlevel is charging you the $97 a month. Okay? Now you're going to include that price, or maybe even more, in your plan. Hopefully, that's the way that you're going to recoup that particular cost. But that way, the person who's purchasing your plan doesn't need to sit back and worry about purchasing AI employee. You can offer it here. Now, one other way is that you can not offer it here, and then what you can do is go into the rebilling, the reselling here, and if you go to reselling, there's where you can sit back and actually go into the AI employee and say, okay, I'm selling AI employee I'm being charged 97, I'm going to sell it for 147 or 197, whatever it is you want to sell it for, or you think you can. So whenever you do that, then inside of the sub account, the client now has the option, when they're using AI and configuring AI, there's a little button that pops up that says upgrade. And when they click on that upgrade, they're now given a form inside of their account where they can put in their credit card and they can purchase it for 197 bucks. Do you see what I mean? So you're not offering AI employee, you can turn that feature on. Okay, keep this in mind. You can turn the feature on for their account, and when you do, they're automatically set up as pay-as-you-go. And the pay-as-you-go is a different model. They're charged so much. I think I may be a little bit wrong on this, so give me some grace, but the voice AI was like 13 cents a minute. The review AI is like 8 cents per response. The conversation AI is like 2 cents per response, and things like that. So all of those cents add up. If you're really using like an AI widget on your site, or you're doing things, that price can add up pretty quick. So the unlimited plan might make perfect sense. To do that, if you're running across a problem, or you're getting a lot of phone calls in voice AI and it's really running up that bill. Because keep in mind, I mean, if you have a typical 5-minute conversation at 13 cents a minute, now keep this in mind, that's 13 cents a minute for voice AI. You're also being charged for the call, the inbound call on that as well, meaning the client. So you're paying whatever, 5, 50, 65 cents for that voice AI call, just for voice AI. But then they're also getting the charge for that phone call coming in as well. So that's a double hit on that one. But if you can imagine, 65 cents for every phone call they get. Now do the math on that. What if you get 50 phone calls, 100 phone calls, 200 phone calls a month? On average, that you have to just do the math. And a lot of times it makes sense to go with the unlimited plan. So it's going to be up to you how you do that. But here inside of the SaaS Configurator, if you wanted to offer these things to your customer, you can. You just need to make sure that you include those prices in your plan. But now the customer gets that automatically as a part of the SaaS plan. They don't have to pay for it. You're charging them as part of the SaaS plan, and they're getting the features without having to pay for it individually on their credit card. So hopefully that makes sense. And you can do all of these: employee, WordPress, if you want to do the new listing feature, WhatsApp, all that stuff is here. Pretty cool. Now, trials and activation. This is if you want to have a trial. Again, if you're going to sit back and activate a trial for this one, give it a number of days. That's going to be completely up to you. I'm not offering anything here. Or you also have the complimentary credits. So the credits are, you're being charged so much for usage of text messages, emails, and things like that. But what you can do is you can sit back and say, well, right now I know you don't use a whole lot, so I'm going to give you in this kind of case, I'm giving them a $10 credit. Now, I'm going to just, I'm kind of in the way here. Give me a second. So maybe you can't really see this very well here, so I'm trying to blow this up. But here, add credits upon sign up. Now you could do a one-time credit. Hey, I'm going to give you $50, and whenever you use the $50 up, everything else is on you. That's one way of doing it. Or you can do recurring credits, where every month they get this new credit. So in this plan, I'm offering just $10 a month, which could be good for. Keep in mind, I think 1,000 emails is like 68 cents. So if it's 68 cents for 1,000 emails, just do the math on how many emails and text messages you can send out for $10 before the rebilling and all the other stuff starts taking effect. Does that make sense? So you're basically saying I'm giving you $10 worth of usage before I start charging you some of the fees. Now you can do this or not do this, completely up to you. Now also one of the things is, I don't like doing this, but if you wanted to, you can roll the unused portion over to the next month. I don't too much like that. I'm just under the, use it this month or lose it. But keep in mind, if they don't use it, then next month is 20, the next month is 30, the next month is 40, if you're rolling it over. So that could just be a lot of billing that you roll forward. And I don't necessarily like doing that. So you can turn that on, and then you can adjust the amount here, $10, whatever, or you can make whatever adjustment you want on how much you want to give them. But once this is set up, you can advertise that as part of your plan, that you give a $10 credit per month for doing that. Now, just check the questions right here. Awesome. No new questions. This is the exciting part. It's also one of the most time-consuming parts of the SaaS Configurator, because it does require you to configure the rebilling. Again, the rebilling is really just this slider configuration. Markup margin right here. There are margins that are being billed, and this number right here, 3 times, is, and again, notice that it gives you 3. I can go down to 1. 1 meaning I'm just charging them at cost. I'm not charging them any extra. All the way up to 10x. Okay? So you can do any one of those. Now I'm going to keep this on 3. And I think this is pretty cool. Before they didn't have this. Now you can do 3 point. It has all these cool points. The other SaaS configurator was just like 1, 2, 3, 4. Anyway, I just thought that's pretty cool that they can allow you to do tenths of a point. But here's where you get the benefit of this. And this is where it can be rather confusing, because you don't really see how much benefit this has right off the bat. You don't. So this right here is where, again, here's the charge, and this is just typical charge. Again, I want to sit back and preface this. This is the phone system. So we got phone, email, all of these things along the left side here are all the different features inside of Highlevel that you could possibly rebuild for. Now, the good thing about this is that you can configure rebilling on either one of these, on every one of these, sorry. But you don't necessarily have to mark up every one of them. So if you want to have one of them being, I'm going to mark up high, but if somebody does like the funnel AI or reviews AI, I'm going to give them that at cost. That's going to be completely up to you. So we'll get into that here and show you that, but let me blow this back up a little bit to kind of see this, because this is really important. So the charge, making a phone call is 0.014 cents. So what is that? Like, 1.5 pennies per minute for making a phone call. And I'm just using this as an example. Charge to the customer at a 3x multiplier, 3-time multiplier. You're charging them 4.2 cents per minute. Is that really going to hurt their feelings? Maybe not. I don't know. It depends on how much they use the phone. But 4.2 cents per minute. $10, it says we'll roughly give you 240 minutes. That's really nice that it takes the credit and tells you how much you're in, because now you can use that, you can use this 240 minutes in your marketing, in your plan. It's like, hey, I'm giving you a $10 credit, which equates to, 240 minutes of call time, or, so many thousand emails or something like that. So it gives you that, which is cool. But the nice thing is the profit. So every call that they make, every minute of every call, let's just say this, because this is per minute, you're making 2.8 cents per minute on every phone call that they make. You're making 1.7 cents on every phone call they receive. Okay? So that's just on phone calls. Now, come over here to emails. Notice on emails, we can have a different slider. And again, here's the one thing that I really do appreciate. I'm just showing you some history of this in the SaaS Configurator, of how nicely this tool is developed. Whenever the SaaS Configurator first got started, you only had one slider, okay? Meaning you had to set your tone for all of these. Now it's been more advanced. Now you get a slider for each service. This is where I'm saying you get the option of rebilling higher on some things and less on others. That is super cool. That's another cool feature that was added for those people that maybe had not been around since that long. Okay, just checking some questions. But notice here, again, I just want to show you on this. So again, here is the charge to the customer. You get roughly 5,000 emails with a $10 limit. Cool. And then you're making 0.0014. So you're making a tenth of a penny per email. Okay, sounds like nothing, right? Sounds like nothing going on at all. But all of these are the things that you can rebuild them for. Premium triggers and actions. These are the things that happen inside of workflows. Those are the ones that have like the little gold crown on it. If they want to use those, you can charge for that as well. LC email verification. I always recommend turning that on when people email them, because doing email verification, number one, it's just what you expect. It verifies the email so that you don't send the email out if the email is not valid. Therefore, you don't get another bounce rate, and then you protect your domain reputation by basically allowing your email to get into the inbox better. Because the more bounces you have and the more undeliverables and things like that, the less of a reputation you have. And again, you can do this at Content AI, Workflow AI. Notice that you can turn these off too. You don't have to even deal with them. If you don't even want to worry about sliding, you could just simply turn the whole feature off. But all of these are included, including WhatsApp, the WhatsApp conversation messages, reviews. Here's where it gets into domain purchases. Domain purchases are really just going to be more of a one-time thing. So when somebody buys it, Highlevel sells domains. They started that several months ago, where you can now buy domains inside of Highlevel. So you can buy them for $10. If you mark this up to, I think, 1.2, you're basically charging the customer $12, and you keep $2 for every domain. But again, that's a one-time deal. That's not a monthly reoccurring charge. So here's the thing for autocomplete addressing. If you like that particular feature in your forms, that does require it. And then Funnel AI, those are the ones that I think you get so many per month on Funnel AIs, but they allow you to sit back and rebill and charge. Okay, so all of these things are what you get inside of the SaaS Configurator plan, and this is why it takes so long to go through and create all of these plans, because you have to know what all of these settings are in here to get them created. Now, the problem with this is that, I wouldn't say a problem, is that there is no duplicate here. It's not like you could duplicate a plan and move on. So there is nothing like that like you do with workflows. You have to create the plan and go through all of it from scratch again every time you create a plan. So Sonia says, can you give me an example of a use case for the LC Premium triggers and actions? Not sure how I would promote it to my community. Yeah, I actually use them a lot myself. For instance, if you ever use inbound webhooks, where another system sends data across XML data across a web link, it's called a webhook, and it's a premium feature. But a little bit more of a realistic example, I also do things with Google Sheets. Like on my workflows, I have information sent out. When I get information, it goes out to a particular Google Sheet and populates that. So Google Sheets are a premium factor. But if you just go into your workflows, click on a trigger, and then scroll down and look at all the triggers, all those ones with gold crowns on them are the premium actions, are premium triggers. And then the premium actions, if you click on the actions area, all of those are going to be the premium actions. So anyway, that's how you can figure out which ones you actually use on them. Now, that's pretty much it for the SaaS Configurator. I do want to sit back and follow through with what I said earlier. I know we're kind of getting toward that hour limit. I try to keep it within there because sometimes I can just keep talking and talking. And I'm going to go into sub-accounts. And I'm just going to show you this right here is just my affiliate sub-account. This is the account just that I have for all my affiliates for the bonuses and stuff that I have. But I want to show you here is this right here. So when you come in here and you look at SaaS and you look at this, notice that the SaaS plan is not enabled. So when you upgrade from the starter plan or the unlimited plan and you move all your sub-accounts forward to Agency Pro, this is going to be turned off. So you'll need to turn this on. And when you do that and you turn this on, then it pops up and says, okay, now it's going to be requesting payment details. How are you going to do this? Are you going to share a link for billing, requested via email, SMS, or things like that? So it does give you options on how you want to set up billing, because the SaaS Configurator does need to get their billing. Again, this is done separately. I know before I said in the billing for the unlimited plan, you can put a credit card in there, but I don't know if that information goes through exactly. I've never done that particular upgrade from the unlimited to the Agency Pro to tell you, but it needs a credit card information. So There's none here listed, so it's going to ask that, and then the credit card is now going to be securely configured inside of Stripe, and then it'll be charged every month. So this is just a plan that you have to go through and follow that to get the plan upgraded, and then you're going to have to choose what SaaS account they want, move them to the SaaS plan once they get the credit card on file and things like that. But then you just need to make sure you work out the billing and all that other stuff. Now, I do want to sit back and show you one thing here, but I'm going to move. I need to go find this real quick, so give me a second. So I'm going to switch back here. So here is the spreadsheet I told you about in the Rebilling calculator. Now, actually, I was really surprised because this video did not get a lot of views at all. And I was just rather shocked because, I mean, this right here is really the reason why I tell people to upgrade from the unlimited plan to the Agency Pro plan. So right now, if you take a look here, I'm just going to quickly show you. Give me a second. Sometimes my computer blows up when I try to blow it up like this, but I've taken, remember all those charges on the SaaS Configurator? I've taken all of those charges that they have for all of those different services. And here's the services: inbound call, outbound call, SMS, email. Here's how much they charge you. Here's how much Highlevel charges you. This could be the agency rebilling cost. And then here's your profit. Okay? Now, the agency rebilling, the cost of that, and then the profit really comes into these multipliers. Remember that little slider bar? So I've represented the multiplier here by just a number. And then I've got this number of clients. So the yellow is the cool thing that you get to play with. Okay? This is the thing that you get to play with and sit back and see how all of your numbers change. So just imagine, here's all the charges that Highlevel charges you. Now these are the usage charges. Here are some of the resell features. I didn't go over that, but here, this is that reselling features right here on the left. All of these different features that you can resell, like you can mark this up, and the AI employee, this is where you can mark up however much you want to do that if you're selling it separate. But anyway, so I didn't really include those here because, you know, that's really just like a one-time monthly plan, you know, payment that you get. I was really focusing on these usage charges. So again, just looking at, if I've got a rebilling multiplier of 3. Now here, I don't have this out with changing the multiplier on every one of the different services. That would just be, you know, shoot me in the head for, you know, trying to do that on a spreadsheet. That'd be just crazy. I tried to make it just simple. So this is a one multiplier across all services. That's how I set this up. And then you've got like your number of clients. Now, here's the cool things. So here you've got, these are all the different services, and I just put in how much these particular people use. So SMS segments, 500. That's nothing. These are like super crazy low. You know, 500 SMS segments. So keep in mind, a segment I think is like 160 characters. So if you're sending out SMS a lot, and these are segments, you're going to be sending out more than 500 segments a month, or 500 emails a month. 300 inbound calls, 150 outbound calls. This is where you can just put in what, you know, maybe an average customer for you might be. So this right here is, again, the LC email verification, the review AIs, you know, how many reviews they might be getting. I just kind of put in some numbers to make this. And again, I'm not looking at anything on content AI, workflow AI. I've just set all those things to 0 here, okay? So right now, if you take a look at this, this is where you come in here and say, okay, agency profit usage. I'm going to try to blow this back out again. So now we can see this. So this blue area is what you're looking at here. Agency profit usage, $3,576.03. Okay? So this agency profit usage right here represents all the usage here in this block. Now, this agency profit resell, that's these numbers over here. That's the resell features. If you're reselling AI employee to somebody, or reselling WhatsApp, and WhatsApp, they're charging you $10, you're charging somebody else $19 a month, then you make $9 a month off them. So I mean, that's great. That is a recurring charge if they're utilizing these services. But I'm just assuming they're not utilizing any of those services. Okay? basic customer, they're only using these services over here: SMS, text, inbound call, workflows, things like that, LC verification, conversation AI, some of the basic things like that. So basically what I'm saying is that if you set a multiplier of 3, okay, and again, let's assume that you are an unlimited user, okay? You're unlimited and you have 35 clients, okay? Unlimited user, 35 clients, and your clients are averagely using these. You are leaving $3,576.03 on the table every single month because you don't have rebilling and you're not implementing rebilling. You're not marking the services up, even just a little bit, because those rebilling charges, again, going up to 10x, I think is nuts, crazy. But I mean, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, all of those I think would be even within the reason, as long as the people maybe not use a whole lot. But again, what I'm saying is, you're saying I'm going to stick to the $297 plan because I don't want to pay an extra $200 a month for a plan that, once implemented correctly, is going to generate $3,500 more a month in revenue. Hope that makes sense to you. So, guys, that's all I had for everything. I want to see what it says. Sonia, sorry about that, Sonia. You can go ahead and click on that. That's fine. Just create a regular account. You guys can go through that later. This is about a little bit over our time limit. But if you want this rebilling calculator, I do offer it. Just search my YouTube channel for the rebilling calculator, and you'll get that. But guys, that's all I had. I really wanted to go through the SaaS Configurator because a lot of people don't really understand it, the power of what you can do, and how you can make money getting to the Agency Pro plan. So again, a quick plug for me: if you are looking to upgrade, use my upgrade link. I appreciate you always for your support. If you're not a member, join. That way you can stop back and ask some questions too and interact with me on the lives that we do. I do appreciate that, and it just helps supports me as well. But thanks so much for being here, guys. If you're not subscribed, click the subscribe button before you go, and have a great day. I will see you next week when I'm in the Dominican Republic. Bye, guys.